Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I thought I'd talk about the top 3 flute concertos. Is this list a little biased? Totally. This is the top 3 in my opinion. Not top 3 because they're my favorite, but top 3 because they're very popular. Some of them are on the all-state cycles in most of the states, and so I thought I'd dive in, and if you're looking for a new piece to work on, or you just know it, or you mutually don't like it also, we put it in the comments. So I thought I'd start with the classic, the well-known Mozart in G Concerto. If you are a flute player, you have definitely heard of this. You've probably learned it over and over for different auditions, for competitions. It's pretty much a standard. So apparently he was commissioned to write 3 flute concertos. He wrote a lot of commissions, but he only actually completed 2 of them. And then his second one was actually the Mozart Concerto in D major. However, that is just a transposition of his concerto for the oboe. In a letter to his father, Mozart wrote, "Moreover, you know that I become quite powerless whenever I'm obliged to write for an instrument which I cannot bear." Love to hear that. Hence, as a diversion, I compose something else, such as duets for clavier and violin, or I work on my mass. So this is the one letter that everyone goes back to, referring to the fact that that Mozart did not like the flute. There's not really much other evidence, so I don't know how true it is, but I do find it interesting that this piece that is one of the most used and standard pieces is is by a composer who didn't like the flute that much. The reason I think that this is such a popular concerto is because it really showcases all of your abilities. It has a wide range, especially there's a lot of kind of middle and lower register. There's a lot of different articulations. There's a cadenza that you can show your creativity with. It's also very stylistic, so there's a certain way that you need to play it. So I think all of those things combined together are why it is so popular and so commonly requested at all auditions. You can hear a lot about someone's playing by how they play Mozart. This concerto has 3 movements, Allegro ma stoso, Adagio ma non troppo, and Rondo. I'll attach little clips of me playing some of these. I personally first learned this when I was in high school, then again in college, and then again for summer festivals. And so this piece will forever hold a place in your life if you are planning to pursue music professionally as a flutist. But I believe also a lot of instruments have a Mozart concerto that they have to play. Now this next concerto, or concertino, and you might already know what I'm talking about, is the Concertino by Cécile Chaminade. Now, this piece holds a very special place in my heart because I learned it through the all-state cycle when I was in high school, not very well at the time, and then I relearned it again a couple years later and did a concerto competition and got to play it with the orchestra, so it holds a very special place in my heart. And it's very beautiful, the melody is very beautiful, but the common catch with this concertino is that people learn it when they're not quite ready to play it yet, because it's difficult. There's tricky rhythms, there's a lot of technique, there's a lot of articulation. It also requires kind of an emotional maturity that we don't really get till later on. But yeah, we just think it's so beautiful, so we just want to learn it. And so students, even some of my students, will be like, "Can I learn the Chaminade Concertino?" And I say, let's just wait a little bit. Here's these other pieces, which I will make another video about. Here's these other pieces, start with these, and then eventually we will get to the Chaminade Concertino and you will play it and you'll feel really good about it. And yeah, I'll attach a little clip of me playing the Chaminade Concertino here. And if you're a flutist, I'm sure you've heard the legend about this piece, that apparently Cécile Chaminade was in love with this flutist and he betrayed her. He was going to get married to someone else. And on the day of his wedding, she came with this piece and she said, this will be unplayable. There's just no way he's going to like break up with her. I don't know what exactly the thinking was, but apparently he was able to play it. He still got married, and so it's a little bit sad, but when I play this piece, I try to envision the storyline of her suffering, of her love, of the good times, of the bad times. It always helps to come up with a story for these things. It was commissioned by the Paris Conservatory, which was a common thing for by the end of the year, all the students had to play this piece, and then whoever played it the best got all these opportunities. There's also flute cadenza in there, so you get to again have a little bit of room for creativity. So yeah, it's just a really fun piece. It is challenging, and it is played all the time. It's almost like one of those overplayed pieces a little bit. I guess all of these concertos are a bit overplayed since they're the top, right? But yeah, it's one of my personal favorites. I never got tired of it, and whenever I hear someone play it, it just like reminds me of my high school days. So honestly, if you're looking for a new piece and you're up for the challenge and you feel like your technique is in a good place, I would recommend it. Now, I spent a while thinking about what should be the third concerto, because the first two I pretty much knew like these are the really popular, almost overplayed ones. For the third one, I debated for a while, but I decided to go with the Reinecke Concerto. And this is another one of my personal favorites. I think it's so beautiful. I learned this in college, and then I relearned it again for a concerto competition that I did not win, but it is okay. I really enjoy playing this one. It's by a composer named Karl Reinecke. He was a German composer, and this was written in 1908, but he was really big on preserving that like classical romantic feel. It has 3 movements: allegro, molto, moderato, lento e mesto, and moderato. I'll see if I have a video of me playing it from a couple years ago. So what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think those are the top 3 flute concertos? Do you have any other suggestions? Put it in the comments. And make sure you subscribe for more videos.